Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Total Tutor Show. I'm the host of the show, Neil Haley. You got to go to my website, TotalTutor.net, to find out more information on the Total Education Network. We keep getting syndicated. We're syndicating 100-plus stations. You got to go to my website. I also own a Birth Through College tutoring and consulting company. And I want to welcome my co-host, Jarrett. And I got a big surprise for you tonight, Jarrett.
I am always surprised by what you have in store for us, but I cannot wait to hear what we have for me and my listeners.
Well, I tell you, the thing is, Jarrett, sometimes you're always like the backup to interview our celebrities. But when I heard about he was interested in coming on the show, it was an absolute honor. I've had Super Steelers, but they're from the 70s, but not a current Steeler. So I want to welcome the program, Ryan Clark. Ryan, how are you?
Good, guys. How are you doing?
Fantastic. It's an honor that you're on the show, and I'm really excited to learn more and more about your foundation, see how our listeners can help. So why did you decide to do the foundation, Ryan?
You know, it was just going through some of the things that I've been going through and that I had to deal with still also losing a sister-in-law to it. Just looking for a way to give back to the community of the people who suffer from this disease and from this illness. I met Dr. Mark Gladway, who was a doctor here in Pittsburgh, who had more passion and more vigor and more fight to find a cure for this disease than anyone I've ever met, even people who suffer daily from this illness. And so it was exciting to team up with him, and UPMC had a strong backing, and we decided to start the Ryan Clark Cheer League, which is, you know, what the money goes to that we earn any kind of way, whether it be through donation, whether it be through fundraisers. It's purely the sickle cell awareness and also to sickle cell research. You know, our goal is to find the cure. And on the way to finding the cure, if we can, you know, help people just get along with the daily struggles that it takes when dealing with this illness, dealing with sickle cell, those are the things that we want to do.
Well, I think it's fantastic, Jarrett. And again, we always find these athletes that are really trying to give back, Jarrett. Isn't that true?
Absolutely. I mean, we've interviewed so many athletes, and we hear a familiar story from them that it's personalized. It's something that they are passionate, and I can even hear that in Ryan's voice. He's passionate as a football player, and I can absolutely hear his passion about his foundation and what they're providing. Ryan, I have a quick question here. In what way has your professional career as a football player helped you or laid the groundwork for this foundation? Who did you reach out to kind of promote this and get it going?
Well, you know, obviously, you know, being on TV, you know, through football, but also playing for an organization like I played for, Pittsburgh Steelers. You know, we've competed in Super Bowls, we've won Super Bowls, a very visible team when it comes to the NFL. It allowed me to put my face out there and kind of be an ambassador for my foundation, but also for sickle cell. We've never really had anyone really stand up and say, hey, I suffer from this illness in some way, or I've dealt with tragedy through sickle cell, and, you know, I've come out on the other side, and here's how I've done it, and I also want to help you. So that's been, you know, very beneficial to myself and also the foundation. When you have a team like me, you're able to do events. You have the Troy Polamalu's and, you know, and the Ben Roethlisbergers and all these other guys who are on your team help out. They're also everywhere I go, whether it's, you know, do a show on ESPN, there's ESPN personalities who are willing to help me out. Anything I've done, I've got nothing but total support, even having opportunities to come on your show, you know, and talk about my foundation. So it's been really amazing, just the opportunities that have been afforded to me. Also, next week, I'm getting the opportunity to speak to the National Black Caucus of State Legislators, you know, which is something I know I wouldn't get the opportunity to do if I wasn't a football player. And so it's exciting that I've been able to use that for the celebrity that I've been able to gain through playing football that God has blessed me to do to help this disease and to help people who suffer from it.
Well, absolutely, and I wanted to go right to that, Ryan, and I know why is because of the Rooneys. The Rooneys really set the tone for you guys. I interviewed Art Rooney II at the Andy Russell Golf Tournament a couple weeks ago, and he talked about how he really takes what his grandfather taught him and that the team really looks at giving back. And it really helps, I guess, the entire organization how you guys are all looking for those opportunities, and the Steelers really afford you those opportunities, don't they?
Oh, definitely. I mean, it starts from the top. if you look at our organization, if you look at, our owner, our president, the Rooney family, just throughout history, they've always given back. Even with the fashion show each year, we donate all that money to charity. We have different walks, which I will be actually co-chairing one this year. So everything that we do is, we promote giving back to community. When you have young kids come in, whether it be a day, during the week on Tuesdays when we're off, we get into the schools, we get out into the community to try to help. And I think when you have that coming from the top of your organization, it filters through all the way, whether it's the secretary, whether it's the security guards, the guys that work the front desk, everybody in our building. It's about giving back. It's about sharing, what we've been able to obtain with our community, with the people who support us. And also the Roonies, they're willing to help in any endeavor that you have. If you have a fundraiser, if you have some type of event that's supporting, your foundation, they're willing to be a part of it, whether it's giving you items to auction off or making sure you have people there to support you from the organization. And when you have that type of backing and support, it only allows you to, go further and do more for your cause.
So, in other words, an absolute team effort. We don't do this on our own. We have a whole team to support us.
It really is. You can't do it by yourself. You can't. There's no way you can generate enough passion, no way you can generate enough energy or enthusiasm if it's just one man going at it alone. And one thing about our team, guys always come out and support. If you have an event, if you have something going on, guys are going to do their best to make it. And I think it's like that across the league, but I think it's a really special place here in Pittsburgh. We look at each other like brothers. We're family. I think we behave that way on and off the field.
One question also, Ryan, I wanted to ask you was about fundraising, especially with the economy and everything. How difficult is it to fundraise for charities, and how much have you learned from others on how to be able to do a great fundraiser and raise the right money?
Honestly, it's been awesome to be paired with UPMC. Honestly, they have so much backing and so much support, and they've really been wonderful to me. I have a guy who I work closely with who's not just a business partner, but a friend, Steve Tazilli, who works his butt off constantly, basically running my foundation and finding different ways to fundraise, but also finding ways to give back that aren't about money. Last week, we were able to just bring out some kids who suffer from sickle cell and their families, whether it be their mothers or their fathers, and to give them opportunity to play basketball with us, kick the soccer ball around, eat pizza, play video games, just to give them a break from the monotony of dealing with this illness and the pain that you have to go through when you have it every day. We have a softball game coming up here on June 11th, but Steelers will be paired with media types and local celebrities. That's just another way to raise money, but also get people around in the community so you can spread your news, spread the word about what you're doing with your fundraiser. We had Cleats for the Cure last year where guys donated actual game-worn cleats, and we got local artists to paint them or set up sculptures to get people to buy it and just to get people enthusiastic about what we're doing. And so we've been able to raise money, but you also know you have to incorporate the community and also teach people as they go along in these things. And so it's been fun just to learn from, Troy doing his fundraiser, when you go to Brett Kiesel, for cystic fibrosis. Everything that I pick up from other people, I try to incorporate it and use it in our fundraiser.
It's simply amazing. And Ryan, I know our listeners will be interested in hearing about this, and obviously you're a very modest person because you keep referring to so many other players and the good work that they're doing, and not necessarily referring to yourself. But you earned an award from the NFL, correct?
Yes, this year I received the Walter Payton Award, for the team. And what it is, it's just voted on, honestly, by, Mr. Rooney and, people that work with the team closely in community relations. It's about about guys on the team who do good work in the community, guys who are giving back, guys who are reaching out. And, it's an honor more than any other award that you can receive. I think it's the biggest thing because it's voted on by people who deal with you every day, people who see you all the time, who thought enough of you to say that you deserve this. It was huge. It was huge for me, and it was also huge for our foundation. It was just another way to get out the good work that the people that work with the Ryan Clark Chill League are doing.
I'm amazed, Ryan, how motivated you are to be successful with your foundation, have the right team around you. But again, it takes a team, as you said. Steve is very involved in it, in all these different things. But what is your ultimate goal with the foundation? You said a cure, but where do you see things in the next 5 years for your foundation?
Well, we've been able to raise tons of money. And what the money goes to right now, obviously, is awareness and research. But we're trying to, our end goal is to work toward having the Ryan Clark, Center for Sickle Cell Research, where that's all we do is work on finding a cure. I think right now we would love to find one more FDA approved, one, maybe two, something where there will be more options for people to find ways to get relief from the sickle cell disease. But our end game and our final goal is to find a cure, find a way for people to not have to deal with this for their whole lives, find a way to not have to go to the hospitals week in and week out only to get pain pills or to be looked at as you're going to the hospital just to receive drugs. So for us, it is something that is near and dear to our hearts. It's not just about putting on a good front as if we're trying to make a difference. It's actually making a physical difference. And, we want to find a cure. We would have named it something else. I would have named it Ryan Clark Help League, if I wasn't trying to find a cure and put an end to the sickness.
Just a terrific story that you have shared with us, Ryan. Let's talk a little bit about the disease, the disorder. Our listeners may not know that it takes a gene from each of the parents to have a diagnosis of sickle cell. When do most people who have sickle cell disease, when do they find out that they actually have it?
A lot of times it's, once kids begin to get sick, they're trying to implement things out to where, all kids are tested, but it's just not something that they have that's effective right now that they're doing. I was actually at my daughter's baseball practice talking to one of the moms, and her son's 18 months. And she just found out that he suffers from sickle thalassemia. So it's as they age and as they're usually young, but they find out because they're in and out of the hospital. You can't figure out why they're so sick, why they're so fragile. I know even for myself, I didn't find out I had the trait. Until I was almost an adult. And then even after that, I wasn't even educated on, how to handle it, how to deal with it, or, what could be the consequences or repercussions of having it. So it's things that, you find out young, but it's not something that they know when you're born. It's not like a lot of other, illnesses that you get from birth, genes, transmitted from the parents. And, so once they find out, it's a life of transfusions, a life of pain, a life of medication, and it's tough to do, but it's not, two parents can, both have the gene, and you can have a child who doesn't have sickle cell. It's not 100% that is going to happen, but in the cases that it does, it is really tough for them to deal with.
And Ryan, I know Neil has so many questions here, but when we get someone on this show with your profile and the terrific work you've done, I tend to ask a lot of questions here. I want to just ask, how do people get involved? If they're listening right now, how are they going to get involved and say, I have to make a difference too?
You go to cureleague.org. All the information is there. You can actually donate right there on site. But even if it's just not about donation, if you want to get awareness, if you want to see what the foundation is doing before you decide to be a part of it, all the information is right there on our website, and that's cureleague.org. And what we want to do is continue to update you on the things that we're doing, but also get you involved. So if there's anything information-wise you need to know, if there are children with sickle cell whose parents, need to find doctors or need to find ways to, be helpful and help them through that pain, you can find everything there on our website. You can also donate through text. And so, we're just trying to find ways to reach out.
Well, fantastic, Ryan. Again, it was an honor to have you on the show. Can our listeners, is there another place to find you? Are you on Twitter and stuff and Facebook? Do you have a fan Facebook page?
Well, you said, do I have a fan Facebook?
Yeah.
I think I do have a fan Facebook page. I know nothing about it. I've never actually been on it, to be honest. The Cure League has a Twitter account. I don't have Twitter anymore. I decided to just focus on family and trying to figure out a way to beat this disease and, win another Super Bowl.
All
See
right.
that, Neil? I hope you're listening to what Ryan told you. You're always telling me to get on Facebook and Twitter and look at this, an NFL star telling us that he has nothing to do with it either.
And I was looking for you. I was about to tweet you out, Ryan, and I said, "Where's Ryan?" And then I'm like, "He's not on Twitter. What's going on here?" And then I understand that completely, but also, it's very interesting. The last point when you said about a Super Bowl, I asked Art Rooney II. I said, every time that they count out the Steelers, that they're not going to, do well, that forget them, write them off. They win a Super Bowl. Well, I hope after interviewing Art Rooney II, then yourself, that we find out that we're going to be Super Bowl champs. So good luck on this season, and I hope that you bring back a ring. That's what I'm hoping for.
All right, thank you guys so much for having me on.
All right, take care, Ryan. See you later. Okay, bye. All right, you're listening to Total Tutors Show, powered by Jarrett, and we'll be back in just a moment.